Yo, what is up guys? Today, just like the title says, we're going to be fixing this Toyota Camry 2018, which seems to be the problematic Camry so far. We don't know about the newer ones that are out there. I know this one in particular has almost 90,000 miles, and we are getting a code indicating that the electric pump went out, which again, very common issue. If you look here at this code reader, we have the P26CB, then it continues to CA, and then CB again, CA, CB, CA, which basically tells us that we have a stuck water pump and we have to replace it. So I already got my replacement and it is inside the house. We have very bad weather here. We are expecting a hurricane in Florida, Milton, and it is bringing a lot of rain. But this is my nephew's car and they wanted about $1,100 in total to fix it. Even private mechanics were charging around the same amount. The cheapest was about $950. The part, if you get it from the dealer, is about $400, but that's because it comes with the assembly. In this case, we don't need the entire part. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. The pump is located right underneath the alternator, and we had to remove the belt. In this case, we're only going to do the electric pump only. We had to jack up the car. Underneath, we're going to have the little guard, the plastic guard. It is held by 10mm screws that has to come down because we had to drain the coolant. I got the Toyota coolant, but again, the pump came from Amazon. Here it is with a size 10mm socket and a electric ratchet. I removed the bottom panel and it is held by, let me see, 3, 6, about 10mm screws, and the whole thing just comes right out. Super simple and straightforward. Next step here is not to forget to disconnect the negative terminal of your battery. This is a size number 10. Just set it to the side. All right guys, so now we grab our drain pan and place it right underneath, and the drain plug is going to be located right about this area here. Let me see if I can actually get to it without a lot of hassle. The drain plug is right there. Don't forget to remove the radiator cap like I did for faster flow. So we put the drain plug back on the radiator. Our next step here is going to be grabbing a 14mm wrench, and we're going to place this. I'm not sure if it's clear enough here for you guys, but the tensioner for the belt is right here, and so it is exactly a 14mm size. Now we're going to lift up, and then that's going to loosen up the belt. It is quite simple to do, and then just simply undo the belt from the alternator. Now the way we're making this easy is that we are only removing the belt from the alternator, but we don't have to remove the alternator because we're only doing the pump, and the pump is held by 4, that looks like a size 12, most likely a size 12 bolts. So yes, we're going to be using our electric wrench. You can also use a manual wrench with a little extension. Also, don't forget that there's a harness connected to the pump. The clip is on the inner side. You have to press that clip and the harness comes right out from the pump. So here is our 12mm, and we're going to start with the upper ones, which are the easiest, and they don't seem to be torqued too much because it came out with ease. Unfortunately guys, the ones towards the back side of the car, the 2 screws, the upper one and the lower one, they cannot be removed with the electric ratchet because it is just simply too big, and it's hitting here with the alternator pulley, so you can't do it that way. You're gonna have to grab a regular manual ratchet and then loosen it up, and then the rest of the bolt comes off with your hand. So right now I'm removing the lower one. You might have to wiggle things a little bit. At this point, I would recommend getting your pan, your oil pan, on this side because some more coolant is going to come right out. So hopefully that's good enough right there. And now we're going to wiggle it, and wow, that was easy guys. So we got the housing out, as you can tell. There we go, just wiggle it gently. And not a whole bunch of coolant is coming off, but check that out, guys. We got it removed without removing the alternator. This is awesome. So here's the replacement part, okay, with the new housing and everything, as you guys can observe. And look at the difference, guys. I mean, you don't have to be Einstein to just notice that. Look how freely that's supposed to spin. Look at this. It's not even, I mean, it moves, but I had to try like super hard, and then it gets stuck, and then it moves, and then right there I can't move it. Like I can't move it. This one, easy. Okay, this is how you know that this pump went bad. So now the final step is to just continue with the reassembly. It came with gaskets, as you can tell. I have to clean it, make sure that you do clean the gasket. This is a rounded gasket that goes on the actual housing, not on this. It doesn't go like that. It goes on the housing itself, and we had to remove the old one. I know I probably repeat myself over and over, but basically what we did now is remove all the zip ties from the housing. That's the motor housing. This is the motherboard that controls it after the computer of the car gives it certain commands. It has multiple speeds as well. And the pump is going to get installed with this connector facing the front side of the car. And we already installed the O-ring gasket. This is the old one. So you don't have to remove the cap. All you have to do is just wiggle it a little bit until it goes right in. Now we grab our 4 screws. We start with the one that is the easiest so that nothing comes out. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the torque specs on these. Just don't go too crazy. If I do find the torque specs for these screws, I'm going to leave them down in the description. If you don't see them, it's because they're not available. Let's not forget to reconnect our battery negatives terminal, like so. So what I'm going to do next is install the belt. Just do it in reverse. You're going to have to pull the tensioner until you're able to put it on top of the pulley here. Don't forget to connect the harness back into the pump, like so. Make sure that clips on nicely, and there you go. Alright guys, so remember the codes that we had on here. We're going to go ahead and clear them up before starting the car. The codes have been cleared, and I personally prefer to add the Toyota liquids. So we got the 50/50 pre-diluted super long life antifreeze coolant, again designed specifically for these vehicles, so just don't go cheap on it. This is about almost $40. So we have our funnel ready here, and let's start pouring it in. We got things pretty much full here, as you guys can observe, but we have bubbles in the system. Of course, this is a great opportunity to go inside of the car and get it started, so that way we can further keep removing all the bubbles from the system. And when you see it looking like this, that means that you're good to go and there's no more air bubbles inside of the system. The car has been on now for the past 7-8 minutes. No more bubbles coming out. Well, we are now successfully done here with the 2018 Camry. We got that pump replaced. Something that you should do after running the car for a little bit is to ensure that the O-ring gasket that we installed before, it is not leaking. Unfortunately, the one that came with this particular pump was leaking, so I had to reverse everything, take it apart, and install the factory O-ring. I went to the dealer, got it, and no more leaks. But besides that, the pump is working great. Also, I want to show you here that we no longer have the check engine. As you guys can observe, right there, no more check engines. The temperature is back to normal, no more overheating, and everything is working as it should, guys. If you have any questions, you know exactly what to do. Just leave your comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys on my next one.